can't keep that one. I will make you one. You can't keep that one.
Can I wear it for tonight? Melissa.
It's part of a friendship thing. I have like a friend.
This is for your other friends?
Yes.
Oh, you better get it back, girl.
My other friends.
So I'm going to make you something else.
I don't know who told her she can have other friends. Anyway.
Well, you already know. You know, everybody has different sets of friends.
I would move my chair closer to you if I wasn't blocked for the camera.
Stop playing.
Just so you know. But anyway, I just want to let y'all know, anybody that's watching, that we got the best crew here.
Yes.
Y'all gonna see them. We got my man Yush, sound engineer.
Woo!
Can we get a shot of you? Thank you.
Hey!
Yush be so tired of my shit. I've been working for Yush for a really long time. It feels like 20 years, but it's probably been like, what, 5, 6. He's like, look, I don't know, but I like it here. We got Jared. Y'all don't need to see Jared faces.
Woo! Jared! I can't stand it.
He always got the fancy feet, the heavy feet. And we got this YouTube sensation. Her name is Yanissa. She's makeup. She doing slave. Look at her. Look at her.
I guess she's coming to the set.
Makeup brushes it off.
Yanni, we okay? We okay? We look good? No, hold on. You sure? Wait a little bit.
There you go. There you go.
Y'all better hire her. Y'all better hire her.
Good.
So you know, y'all know who we are.
Yes.
I have this urge to say my name because that's what we do when we slate stuff, when we do self-tapes and all of the things. I haven't done a self-tape in a really long time because I'm out here just making my own movies.
There you
Guys,
go. There you go.
Celebration.
There you go.
But you know what? I'm glad I said that because I want to actually segue into. I want to talk about what creating our content actually costs us. Because, all right, for those who don't know, I'm working on my first feature film called Boxer. We were supposed to shoot last summer of 2020.
2020.
But the pandemic. And, you know, the budget is, the skeleton budget is $60,000, even though we could use about 85.
Yes.
So we padded $100,000. And let me tell you something, raising money in a pandemic, I think all in we're about 10% now. So we're about close to $10,000. I'm incredibly thankful.
Yes. Thank you all to all that donated.
Anybody that donated to the Boxer film, if you're familiar with it, these ladies are in it. Everybody in this room is affiliated with it. Yanni's affiliated. She just don't know it yet. But the cost to me of making this feature film, you don't hear a lot about it because you'll make a movie, it's either gonna hit or it's not.
Right.
People gonna know about it and it's gonna be on the news and all the things, or people gonna know about it on an indie level and everybody gonna know who you are. You're just not up there. So I'm training because I'm a boxer, obviously. I had a session yesterday that almost broke me.
Really?
To the point where I was just like, I don't know if I want to do this anymore. Because I had a boxing related injury that kept me out. Is it my mic? Her mic? Oh, okay. It's cool here. You know, everybody know who you are. Because you got all them boobs out. Right? The boob pushing the mic on the floor.
I'm sorry.
So I had an injury. You guys know I was out from training for like 3 months. I'm just now back.
All right, gotcha.
I feel like it's harder now than what it was before. And I feel like my trainer, shout out to Josh, is just tired of my shit. Like, I know he understands what it's like to come back, but this is so hard. And I always have to deflect to the fact of my age. Because my knees ain't working the way they usually work or really the way they used to work. I have runner's knees. I've always been an athlete, a runner, marathon runner, all the things. So, like, when I have to get in my stance and bend my knees, it's like, fucking hell. And I'm like trying to talk to myself, trying to figure out all the ways
I
to,
can't
to
imagine.
make right. So he's like, this left hook is terrible. Push-ups. Not modified push-ups. So I was, at once upon a time I used to do my push-ups, fine. Now it's modified because I feel like I'm ancient. He's like, no, I don't want that no more. But in the movie, I'm training for a fight. So it's like I have to get into, y'all know what that's like. I have to get into character. But I do 40 rounds when I train.
Wow.
When I started, I was doing 30.
Wow.
So I'm doing 40 minutes of straight boxing, conditioning, training, skills, whatever. Yesterday at round 32, I was about to say, I'm giving everybody back their money for this movie. I can't do this. My body was like, bitch. We are not 25 anymore. So, and I wanted to cry. I wanted to cry so bad, but I didn't. Because there's something about that I associate with weakness. We're all a work in progress. I'm working on that. But I waited until I finished. I went and changed. And that walk to the train station, I was like, how bad do you want this? You know what I mean? You've been working on, it took you 3 years to write this script. We went into production 4 months, 3 months. Jared, how many? 2 months, 3 months after I finished the script. 3 months. And we was rocking and rolling. So I just wanted to kind of talk about when you guys create the things, when you guys do the things that you love, for you singing, performing, for you performing, creating, painting, creating jewelry that like people love. Like, did you see Melissa's painting on my wall?
I did. It's
Honey,
beautiful.
you gotta see, when we're done, I'm gonna show it to you in the sun because she got this red glittery finish on it.
Wow.
Super talented. So for me, what it's costing me to create these things, I feel like I was put on this earth to create. So when I'm gone, people will be able to be like, oh, Katie Mack, yeah, she did We can go to and see You know what I mean? But I feel like sometimes the cost is too much.
I think as creators, it's not even flirt, we give love.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
We'll see somebody super talented and be like,
Yeah.
oh, I love him. I need to work with him because it's that thing.
I feel like we're automatic networkers.
absolutely. And not even that, we
Right.
sell the art.
Yes.
Like, happens to me all the time. And I had the same conversation with a fellow castmate. He's married. And when we sing songs on stage, because we're singing memories, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
A lot of times I'm winking at men. If I see a man sitting by himself, I wink at him. Like I'll play with him, and it's not in a disrespectful way. It's just I'm going to sell you this, and not because I'm getting anything back from it, but I'm gonna make you feel what this song made you feel the first time you heard it.
You want to give them the full experience.
You know what I'm saying?
Of the song.
So that was an issue for me too, where I used to do this a lot with people. This is a lot for some men that are like, why are you touching
Yo, what are
somebody's
you
hand?
doing? Right. Yeah.
That's the thing. People think that becoming one with someone means growing together. Sometimes you're gonna grow separately and come together.
Have to.
Like, I'm just learning who I am, and Kareem is now going through this beautiful transition where he's like, I love sports, but I don't know if I want to do sports now. I want to do something more meaningful. That doesn't mean I need to change what I'm doing. It means that he's growing individually. And that's something that took so long for me to understand. Maybe because in the past relationship I was in, our lives were so like this that I didn't see any way out. I saw that I had to be this person for this person. And then you have tied in religion and all this other stuff so people have to understand, in order for relationships to work today, you have to be flexible.
Yeah.
You can't close that door on me, because the moment you close that door on me or you clip my wings, like, bro, it's not gonna work out. See you later.
But that is exactly it. You know, I feel like I'm gonna say something about Genesis. When I first met Genesis was like this bubbly being. So fucking nice. She used to be so nice to everyone, and I'm just like, yo, how you do that? You know what I'm saying? Like, how does that work? And to see her evolve into a woman that is now. So like, if we get on the phone and she's like, Katie, you would have been proud of me because I was just like, no. And I told them how I felt about this thing. And I'm just like, in the back of my mind, I'm just like, yo, it is so beautiful to see her becoming, you know, whereas you and I, like, we've been here for like a decade, like, fuck out of here. This is what, no, you know, and it makes me think of how, as Black women, we are sometimes considered aggressive, confrontational, which is often misconstrued as confident, assured. I'm not stupid, so you can't talk to me any kind of way. You know, and at the end of the day, the part that it plays in reality in our current, you know, news and everything that's going on, we're so intimidating when we are steadfast in who we are. You know what I mean? And it took me, and this goes back, I digress, this goes back to me not being able to change for anyone. It took me so fucking long to get here. You know what I'm saying? It took me so long to get here to be like, you know, to be able to cut people off that are not for me, to be able to have discernment fine-tuned, to read energy. You know what? You're not good for me. I'm good, you know, but also have the grace to not be rude or unkind, but just you have to move differently. Right. So, you know, I'm getting caught up on my drink. Hold on. Just give me a second. But, you know, my point is, I'm just really proud and excited to see you evolve. And though you have some fear into walking into your next chapter, you know, I'll be here for you.
Thank you.
Melissa will be here, pulling up the rear light, bottle. We're not alcoholics. We're not. I promise you. No.
The same way you've seen me grow, I've watched you grow, and you know.
We ain't gotta do this.
No. All jokes aside, like this conversation, I'm sure it's like about like men, like just loving relationship, but also we have relationships with friends, and it goes back to the beginning of this where it's like, oh, you can't have other friends. Like that's something that you and I struggled all the time. Which is why I hate the word wife, because I'm like, I don't want to be someone's property. I don't want to be someone's like thing. Like I'm free. I'm a person, and to watch you like just. You're becoming light and open and accepting. I would never forget Katie and I.
I don't know what she's gonna say right now.
So last year, before the panorama, we
I'm done.
We go on this retreat, right? I'm in my apartment, so we're gonna meet on the train. And Katie's like, for me, retreats at that time, I think I had more experience on retreats versus her. So for me, it was like, okay, we're gonna go, we're gonna cleanse, we're gonna just be open. Openness for Katie was like, what you mean open? I'm not trying to be friends with no one, I just wanna be on the beach. I'm like, so we're paying thousands of dollars to just go to the beach. Like, no, you gonna heal something. We gonna fix something, you know what I'm saying? And I remember like, I know you were so upset with me because I was like, Katie, you need to be open. Like, you're not going to start this trip on this note, talking about, I don't want to fucking talk to anyone.
We had friction before we even got to the resort.
She was like, I'm not talking to anyone. Like, and in my head, I'm like, well, if she's not talking to anyone, I can't just get up and leave and make friends because I can't leave her. I'm going with her. And when I tell you, this woman, like, got to Mexico, I guess it was the heat, the salt in the air, the beach. She said...
She was open.
Open.
Look at that.
And... that's something I've never seen come from you. So I think the reason why you are in this beautiful place you are now is because of the openness that you've allowed into your life.
That was life-changing for us. Mexico, and I think that it definitely changed our relationship.
Absolutely.
Because going in, my mentality was, I'm going on a trip with my best friend, you know, and I was very possessive of that. Like, you making friends with who? Like, I'm your friend. This is who. We spent this money to come here together. I was very much like, but there's a reason, because I did the work to find out why that was. Okay. Growing up, being a child, teenager, everybody that I felt was my best friend weren't really my best friends. They were people that I just really liked, but the feeling was never mutual. So, you know, there was this thing like, I'm like, oh, this is my best friend. I want to keep her close to my heart. You know what I mean? And the fact that knowing her personality, knowing how bubbly she is and wanting to spread her wings and people see that, I was very like, I didn't want that. That's my friend. You know, so going to Mexico, that was where I was at. I don't even know if she knows it. Is she looking at me like, I don't even know what's happening. Oh, God. So I was just like, you know, I feel like finally at this grand ancient age, I have like my soul sister, and I'm very protective of that. So I don't know. This is why I'm like trying to get back to Mexico. I'm like, I need to go back to Mexico so, you know, it was interesting because you know you can't travel with everybody.
That's right. Ooh. You sure cannot. You
can't travel with everybody.
And to remind you, I travel by myself, so that was another thing where I was like, I'm used to having my own freedom.
Right.
But we went to Miami before that. Like I didn't.
It was like 3 seconds versus being together for 7 full days on like a part of the country that you couldn't go anywhere. Yeah. Like I was gonna see you or I was gonna see you.
Yeah. Right. Every day, all day.
Well, I just want to say I love your friendship. I love your sisterhood. You know, it's beyond friendship. You know, there's different levels, you know, of friendship. And when it turns into sisterhood, that's something that you want to hold dearly. So I can see why, you know, you are the way you are. And I commend you for, even though she was closed off at first, you got to put people in the environment to allow them to open up. And being that you did that, it gave her the okay for her to see in her own eyes, I'm in this place, you helped me get here, now it's okay for me to open up because I feel safe enough to do so. So I love that you encourage each other and you have each other's back because that's what's important, especially through the tough times, through the times of you're about to get married and the feelings of wife and you with, you know, your beautiful relationship of you don't want to be called wife, things of that nature. But talking to each other and having that communication, which stems back from the last episode, communication is key, whether it's in a relationship, a friendship, a sisterhood, and that's how you continue to grow. And I love that and continue to hold on to that and build upon it.
I'll get married. That was a whole other thing. I was like, Kareem is taking her from me. Like I had to have a whole conversation, and I was just like, it took me weeks.
Hayden talked to Kareem for like years.
I ain't like him.
Yeah, and that tore my heart apart. Like I was at work crying. Remember that it was that DM that we were talking on Google Chat, and you're like, yeah, I don't really care for him. I was at work sobbing.
What?
Yeah, I think Yanni could tell you. I was so hurt.
Is this true?
I was sobbing. But let me tell you something. This is why you always have to give things time, and why today, what happens today might not matter tomorrow. And it's just crazy how that happened. And then I look at I remember the day of my engagement. I wasn't crying because I was engaged. The moment I looked into the crowd and I saw Katie, I like fell down.
That picture.
Yeah, because at that moment I was like, I thought you didn't like Kareem, and here you are supporting me, and that's why you're my best friend. And that's what friendships are about, being there at the journey. So I appreciate you for that. And I appreciate you too, because like you're a sister to me too. Like she brought you into my life, so now I have a new sister. So I adore both of you. I do have a question for you though. Like, when did friendships start to shift for you as an adult?
There was different stages. My 20s, my 30s, my 40s. Now being in my 40s, I found that I don't have time to argue with anyone. It's not my thing. I need positive energy all around me. And I feel like if it doesn't serve me, it's not for me. And it's okay. It doesn't mean that there's love lost. It just means that this can no longer be, because I'm on a whole nother journey that I'm meant to be at, and maybe you're just not a part of it. And I had to, it was tough for me because growing up, I had self-esteem issues. I didn't know how to say no because I was such a pleaser. I wanted everybody to be happy with Melissa. You know, what can I do to help you? What can I do to serve you? And I'm still like that to this day. However, I had to learn how to fine tune it because not everybody's deserving of my time. Not everybody's deserving of my energy. And once I realized my own personal worth, that's when things got better for me. That's when I started living a healthier life.
Question. You said once you realize your own personal worth. did you always have people telling you what you were? You just didn't have the foresight to see it yet?
Yeah, I believe so. Absolutely. I guess because we're our own worst critic, right? Yeah. We always tear ourselves apart, only see the faults and not the light that's been inside of us. So, it just took time, and like taking those moments, like we said in the last episode, of smelling the coffee, smelling the flowers, taking those moments. The Sunday mornings of life, that's what I call them, where I would just take in and drive somewhere just to see what Melissa wants to do, and just reflecting. Self-reflection is big for me, because how else do I know where I'm going if I don't know where I've been? And how else do I know how to improve if I don't know how to self-reflect and fine-tune those things that's for me and for no one else to dictate who I am?
I kind of want to take my mic pack off and slam it in the floor and put a mic drop. But Yush is probably like, don't you? Don't you even look and think about it, Katie. Damn, I feel like, yes, that is, and I could have never been there in my 20s. Jared is telling me we have 2 minutes, whatever. Okay, it's fine. Let me see him.
Melissa.
All right.
Melissa.
Oh, your mic. Your boob? What's up with your
It's
boob?
popping out. I don't
Are they
know.
getting bigger or?
No, they're
Can I
not.
have some?
Here, scoop.
Now they're
You're
sitting on it.
fine.
No. But that, I also think that is important. That's the thing with like Jen. When I first met Jen and we started our friendship, she would always be like, "Oh my God, you're so great. You're so..." I have like little postcards and things she would mail me from 5 years ago before we got to where we are now, up in my kitchen now. And I'll be like, yo, how is this woman so loving? Like, she hasn't even seen the ugly yet. You know what I'm saying?
That's the thing that screwed me up in friendships. I didn't see the ugly in people.
Or should I say the shadow?
Until it was too deep in and it destroyed me. To the point where friendships broke my heart so much. Like friend breakups. Oh my God.
Well, they're the worst because they're
the
emotional.
worst. Yeah.
You're so tied to them and you've given
Yes,
so much
Jared,
of
I know.
yourself. I know, they're telling us to stop, but
Okay.
this is great.
So, what I like is that we can always keep the conversation going. So, I would say we end with what are you thankful for right now, where you are in your 48-year-old life?
48 years? years? Ain't no 8. Let's subtract.
Why is that so funny to me?
Subtract.
You about to be 48 this year.
I am not. Subtract.
I know.
4
All right.
from
At
that.
44.
44. Yes,
You
44.
look like you were good. A solid 33. Hello.
Thank you. I'll take it.
Yeah, black don't crack.
I-
So, I have a question.
Sure.
Probably a 2-part, maybe not. What are you thankful for?
Mm-hmm.
And what are you working on in self at the point that you're at in your life right now?
I'm thankful for life. As you can see, many people that we grew up with in the hip hop world have passed away. A lot of people in our age range is just, not doing too well, whether they're passed on or their health issues are crazy. I'm just thankful to be able to be walking around and just able to just see the sunlight, feel the sunlight, and breathe air in my lungs, to be honest with you, and be with my family and friends. And what I'm working on, I'm just continuing to work on my inner peace because it's a work in progress. It's not something that happens overnight. Just continuing to pour back into self, so that way I can be a greater service to those who need me. That's where I'm at with it.
I'm a deviate a little bit. What was the difference? Where were you at 10 years ago from what you just said now?
Ooh, that's a whole nother conversation.
I was just like, yo.
That's a whole nother conversation.
I can imagine the journey
Yes.
to get to where you are now.
Yes, having a 21-year-old daughter, there's a lot of that I love very much. That is my home slice. But there's a lot, that goes on with that, and a lot of life lessons, and a lot of things where I had to turn, I hate to say this, but lemons into lemonade and try to make my life a little bit sweeter from the sourness that, some of these lessons have given me. So, yeah.
Jen, what about you?
I'm grateful for love. From friends, family, my partner. Something that I'm working on is showing this beautiful body that serves as a vessel to experience amazing things and adventures, more gratitude. I think sometimes we can be so evil to ourselves, talk about our knees, you know what I'm saying, and forget the reason why your knees hurt right now. You were a runner, you're an athlete. Just think of all the amazing things you've done with your knees, you know what I'm saying? So every day I work on just showing self more gratitude.
I love it.
So,
What about you?
what was the question I asked?
What are you thankful for?
Okay.
And what are you working on within yourself? It's a two-part. That's
Okay, two-part. I'm thankful, much like you, to be given another 24 hours. That's important because we're losing people left and right, and it's fucking scary to me.
It is.
You know, DMX, Black Rob, Shock G. These are all people we grew up listening to, and to me, like, not to deviate, but Shock G kind of like put me in a place with like, all right, time out.
Yeah.
This is like 3 weeks in a row. I need someone to hit the pause button. So I'm thankful for breath. What I'm working on, it's funny. You just, from what you just said, I'm working on giving myself more grace, you know, and it's, like you said, it's a work in progress. So the other day, was it the other day or was it yesterday? I don't know. But, you know, I was looking at my legs, and I've been a runner since high school. And I'm looking at all these varicose veins. And at one point in my life, I had went and I had got some removed. But, you know, they remove, but they come back in another place. So I'm looking at these veins, and I'm just like, oh, they're so ugly. Then I was like,
Stop.
but these legs have carried you.
Hello.
Through races.
Yep.
You've gotten awards, trophies. You get to work. You get to go to the places that you need to go to get the things that you need to get done. So you know what? My bad. I'm thankful that these legs are still able to carry me. So for me, I'm working on just all the years that I didn't praise myself or didn't see myself as godly as I am, as we all are. I am kind of enjoying the moment where I can consciously be like, Katie, you good? Your hair is your bang a little messy according to Yush and Jared, but you still cute today. You know what I mean? Yanni beat your face, but without the makeup, we look naked. But me coming to grips with, like, you know what? You don't need all that. I need it for camera though. You don't need all that. So that is the part of life that I'm happy at, because you know what? We got so much to say. Y'all just gonna have to tune in next time.
Yes.
But I would like to end with a cheers, ladies.
Great conversation.
Cheers to friendship.
Yes.
Cheers to love.
Self-preservation.
Ooh. Cheers, ladies.
Oh, that's good.
I heard that note. I have that note.
Oh,
Jen, you heard that note? You ain't about, this is what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Chit Chat episode 2, camera 1, camera A, episode.
Camera A, camera B.
Chit Chat episode 2, camera A and camera B. Take 1, take 2.
No, you said one.
I think that was the dress you were trying to wear for your engagement, and I was like, no, that's not the dress.
My mic is clipped onto my underwear. I was like,